Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is the Indianapolis 200 in the Haas IndyCar Series, race number 5 of the season, and the biggest race of the season for the Haas IndyCar Series. We are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for an 80-lap race, and it is a big one here today. We have 30 drivers in the field, 6 drivers making their first and only start of the season here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and I will mention them as we go along through the starting lineup. And Jacob Reed won the pole in qualifying, but he crashed in qualifying, so he had to go to the rear of the field. So Mason Powers on the inside lane will start first for this race. Alongside him, it's Kevin Gandara. Then we have Tristan Walker, Cameron Garlington, Lewis Stevens, Tristan Allen. This is a car that's making his one and only start of the season, the number 7. Eric Powers, John Arndt making his first and only start of the season. Hergé Larvin Alonso, Aaron Walpole making his first and only start of the season. Adam Pinchon, Max Newworth, who won the Indianapolis 200 when it was a special event, but now it is part of the Haas IndyCar Series. He's starting in a pretty good spot. Stuart Gratton won the Grand Prix of Indianapolis here last week. We have Matt Dallio, Trey Bartow, Cameron Gaggio with his first and only start of the season. Zachary Fitzwater, Clint Buchanan, Elijah Gordon, Tyler Selsman, Dale Salzman, Jesse Turner, Jordan Newman. The pole winner, Jacob Reed, not the pole sitter, but the pole winner. He got 10 points towards the championship, had to go to the rear of the field. You got James Wickard, Christian Master, Nicholas Samadio, Justin Roberts, Gabriel Marcio, and Nick Pericles. Nick Samadio is supposed to be on the outside lane. Yeah, he was, but you know what? We're not going to change that. But anyway, that is the full field starting here today. Why am I going the wrong way? And we are ready to start the Indianapolis 200, the biggest race of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series. And hopefully nobody has any problems, and it looks like everybody is good. So everybody's going to start the race. We had 33 drivers in this race the first time we had it, but now we only have 30. Decided to shorten it a little bit. I don't know why. Kind of hate to do that to you guys, but you know, 30 drivers is a good number. And just hold on a minute, the phone is ringing. Okay, here we go. We are back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sorry about that. But we are ready to start the Indianapolis 200. Mason Powers and Kevin Gandara on the front row. Making sure again that everybody is okay. And here we go. 30 drivers, 80 laps. There will be pit stops in this race, of course. And we will see what happens in the biggest race of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series. The green flag is out, and we're underway here at Indy. Mason Powers out front. Here comes Tristan Walker in the 10, trying to get underneath him for the lead. Pretty sure the first time we had this event, it was a cloudy day. Now it is sunny. That is going to slow the speeds down a little bit. And here we go, the 3 wide. And there goes Tristan Walker hard in the wall and upside down and into the field. That is bad. Oh, man. That is really, really bad. Stuart Gratton and Matt Dallio involved in that one. And this is going to be a normal sight today. That was a very bad crash. Tristan Walker took a hard hit into the inside wall. Take a look at what happened here. He got spun around by Tristan Allen, and hard in the wall, he got flipped over and right into Stuart Gratton. And I think he got a bit of Max Newworth, and that's what flown him up hard into the air. And that's another thing to go into the Stuart Gratton complication. But, take a look. He crashed here the first time around. Stuart Gratton did. And can't even get the first lap in without crashing. This is what happened again. The Tristan Walker. We'll see if there's another camera angle that shows this a little better. Maybe the spectator. You see him hit the wall hard. He gets flipped and right into the field. And that is not a spectator view. I don't get that. But that is a very, very tough break for Tristan Walker, Stuart Gratton, and Matt Dalio. The race just started, and they've already crashed hard. We'll go on board with Tristan Walker. I mean, it's going to be a very, very interesting crash here. And we'll see how it looked on his onboard camera. Man. He got spun around a lot. And I mean a lot in that car. We'll go on board with Stuart Gratton, because he's going to get an onboard view of what's going on here in his number 12 machine. Look at that. Man, that is something else. And he lost a wheel, too. Stuart Gratton lost a wheel. You did not see the left front tire on that car. And he goes through that crash without a wheel at the end. So Tristan Walker, Stuart Gratton, and Matt Dalio all involved in that incident there. Mason Powers is the leader. Hopefully we didn't crash again, and we did. And this is something, as I said, we're going to see a lot of today. Remember the first one, there were only like 9 cars on the lead lap. They're 3 wide, and when they go 3 wide in these cars, it just doesn't work. And look at that. That's James Wickard, Dale Salzman, Nicholas Amadio around, Jesse Turner, Gabriel Marcio, and Jacob Reed. Now, that one isn't going to be a major one for those guys. I mean, some guys are going to have enough damage to get knocked out, I think, from this one, but a lot of them are probably going to be able to continue, like Jacob Reed. But that is ridiculous right there. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I thought that we had this percentage set last time to 103, and I don't think it was too bad. But now we have it set to 102%, and it's a lot worse. I don't get it. Just don't get it. Well, that did not work for those guys. But the fewer cars we crash, well, the more cars we crash, the fewer cars are left on the racetrack, and the less likely there will be another crash. Let's think of it that way. Anyway, Mason Powers is the leader in the number 25, and I got my Meliolo with me, so I'm good to go. So here we go. Here comes Mason Powers, and most of the field, somebody's staying out. Most of the field coming in. I'm pretty sure that's Cameron Garlington staying out on the racetrack, and it is Garlington. So Garlington's going to inherit the lead from Mason Powers. And we'll get to the spectator view to see how this all plays out. So Mason Powers started on the pole. Well, he started first for the race. He did not win the pole in qualifying, as you saw qualifying back on Wednesday. But he's definitely a good driver. And originally qualified third. And I just got a text message. Where's my phone? Guess where we are? Mason Powers gets off of the pit road first. I do apologize for not recording here. So we'll... Okay. My mom's just playing with me. Okay, Mason Powers is not the leader. He's in second. Cameron Garlington is the leader after he stayed out. We got Mason Powers, Kevin Gandara, John Arndt, and Adam Pinchon with a good run. And we will get to the restart. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. We're back here at Indianapolis for the Indianapolis 200. Cameron Garlington is the leader, then Mason Powers, Kevin Gandara, John Arndt, Adam Pinchon, Elijah Gordon, Tristan Allen, Eric Powers, Trey Bartow, and Hergel Arvin Alonso. Eric Powers is the points leader here in the Haas IndyCar Series at the moment. And I like how these restarts, they're kind of spaced out. I really like that. So Cameron Garlington leads us to the restart here in the Indianapolis 200 on lap 6 of 80. But Mason Powers has those fresh tires and looks like he's going to easily get past the 21 of Garlington. See all the cars whiz out of turn number 2 there. Mason Powers side by side with Garlington as they're going to head into turn number 3. But Powers has that inside lane and looks like he's going to get past the 21. Comes Candara in the 17. They're starting to close up. And, you know, if we do have long green flag runs, which I doubt we will, we're going to see more pack racing. A lot of pack racing in this race, which definitely causes some concerns across the field of drivers. But, you know, it's just a computer game. It's not like it's real life, so, you know, we can be crazy because nobody's going to get hurt, hopefully. Kevin Gandara to the lead with help from part-time driver, I guess you can say, John Arndt in the number 68. Elijah Gordon in this 20 on this inside lane, trying to move his way up, but Kevin Gandara in the 17 is out front. But John Arndt trying to be one of the 6 drivers. He is one of the 6 drivers, making his only start in this race, I should say. Can't ever get it straight, can I? And he's now your new leader here at Indianapolis in the Indianapolis 200. And as of now, it is the longest race that runs on Napa Fan, but that will be broken by the 6 hours of Le Mans soon. Here comes Elijah Gordon for the lead underneath of John Arndt, and this is the kind of pack racing I talked about. We're going to see that double wide action, and sometimes when they head into turn 3, they're going to end up 3 wide, and that's usually when we see the crashes. Elijah Gordon, now Adam Pinchon on this inside lane in the number 19, trying to move his way up towards the front, and he's got the lead. So Adam Pinchon, your new leader here at Indianapolis. And I'm pretty sure that this is Cameron Garlington, and because of the draft, those tires don't really mean much to him. And here he comes back to the inside, trying to take the lead from the 19 of Adam Pinchon. This is Tristan Allen on this inside lane here, right behind Garlington. The number 7 machine in his only race of the season. And, oh boy, Tristan Allen's coming close to making it 3 wide. But they're not going to crash. And Garlington remains out front in the number 21. But Pinchon gets shoved 3 wide on the high lane. And we're going to watch as Elijah Gordon is in the middle right now. And this could definitely be a problem. They're bumping off of each other. Adam Pinchon and Elijah Gordon bumping off of each other. They keep it clean for now. And now they're 3 wide for the lead and hard in the wall. And in the air, and another couple of cars go hard in the wall. Trey Bartow, Kevin Gandara, I think Aaron Walpole involved in the number 5. Adam Pinchon, Cameron Gaju in the number 6 back in there. And they were coming 3 wide, coming in at turn number 2. And whammo. That was a really big whammo, too. I mean, now there are 3 cars airborne. Gaju was well behind this whole thing. Look at this. Look at that. Who is this? I think it's John Arndt in the 68. Got hard into the catch fence. Look at those cars. I mean, that's ridiculous right there. And, I mean, that is serious, serious carnage. Adam Pinchon and Aaron Walpole. It looks like John Arndt. Look at what happens to John Arndt, guys. Does this remind you of something recently? And look at the end here, too. Does that remind you of something? Most of you guys probably watch NASCAR, I'm assuming. And most of you probably saw that Austin Dillon crash. And that crash by John Arndt into the catch fence is very similar. I mean, look at what happens here. They're going 3 wide. All 3 of those cars go upside down and into the catch fence. I mean, look at just how violent that thing is. John Arndt stops. It just completely stops. And he got hit by Cameron Gaju in the end there. And 3 of the part-time guys, 1 race only guys, got involved in that thing. And, you know, we're going to have all these big crashes early on in this race. And we're only going to have a few cars left about halfway. I mean, look at John Arndt. I mean, a tough one for that 68 team right there. We will go on board with the number 68. And he's 3 wide. They just close in, and into the catch fence he goes. Upside down there. And then, got you. It's a tough one for that 68. I mean, that engine just completely stopped on him. We'll go on board with another driver. How about Aaron Walpole in the 5? He took a really interesting fly into the catch fence there. Go onto the roof cam. And they just close up and into the catch fence, and they go flying. 3 cars had all 4 wheels off of the ground in that crash. And we'll just replay it one more time in real time. Unbelievable. And then up front, really haven't reviewed much of that one, but that was Trey Bartow and Kevin Gandara. They got shoved into the wall ahead of this whole thing. See all of that happen. And Gandara comes down, and into Bartow he goes, and they both go around. You see John Arndt get hit back in there. And a lot of cars are going to be knocked out of this one after that crash. Oh, and we had another one as well involving points leader Eric Powers. So this was the pack racing back to the line. And Tristan Allen got in the Garlington. Elijah Gordon and Eric Powers go into the catch fence as well. What a tough break. And hold on just a minute, the phone's ringing again. Okay, so we had another crash here, and it involves points leader Eric Powers in the number 3 car. Tristan Allen, Cameron Garlington, and they just go spinning into the wall. Product of the Indianapolis 200 are these incredible crashes. Hairgel Arvin Alonso takes the lead in the number 27 after all that. Tyler Selzman in 2nd. They should reset here. 3rd is Jordan Newman. Cameron Garlington didn't have too much damage. He's 4th. Christian Master up to 5th place. You got Zachary Fitzwater, Lewis Stevens, Mason Powers, our pole sitter, still up here. Nicholas Amadio, Tristan Allen, Elijah Gordon, Jesse Turner, Justin Roberts, Max Newworth, the winner of the Indianapolis 200 earlier this year, when it was a special event, of course. Eric Powers, he's still running. Kevin Gandara, Trey Bartow, Jacob Reed, and the rest of the guys, pretty much history. I don't know why Buchanan is in the pits. Don't remember him being involved in anything. But already we've knocked out a lot of guys. 2 huge crashes to open out the Indianapolis 200 here today, and did not work for a lot of guys to begin this one. But hopefully, since we don't have as many cars on the racetrack anymore, it will calm down a little bit, and we can get some green flag racing in. We'll see how these pit stops go, if we get any. Hairgel Arvin Alonso is the leader, and he's going to bring, looks like, everybody in. So here we go for the pit stops here in the Indianapolis 200. Hopefully my mom doesn't text me again. Yeah, she did apologize for bothering me, so. Anyway, we will see how these pit stops go. And we see all those cars already on the pit road, and they were involved in that crash. And we'll actually go ahead and follow with Mason Powers, because he's right at the end of the pit road. And he will give us a good view of who wins the race off at the pit road. So Mason Powers started on the pole for this race. He's still in this thing, hasn't crashed yet. How about this? Jacob Reed in the number 2 is going to take the lead. My suggestion is he had a problem and pitted. He might not be in the lead. Actually, yeah, he is in the lead. He's going to be in the lead. But my suggestion is he actually had a problem. He had to quickly pit, and they got all that stuff done. So when he came in this time, he was able to just take fuel only and top off. So now he's out front in the number 2. Hairgel Arvin Alonso is going to get 2nd. Tyler Selzman is going to get 3rd. Jordan Newman's going to get 4th, and Christian Master is going to get 5th. Now Buchanan, I don't know if Buchanan's a lap down or what. He might be, because I do remember him being on the pit road last time and having some issues. And he was on before the rest of the guys, so he's probably on the tail end of the lead lap, actually. No, he is not. So, actually, Clint Buchanan is the leader. Interesting. I don't know how that happened, but Buchanan is now out front in the number 98, and it's Jacob Reed, Joe Larvin Alonso, Tyler Selzman, and Jordan Newman. But it looks like Buchanan is coming back into the pit road, and he's going to service that car there. So we'll get to the restart here in the Indianapolis 200 right now. Hey, we're back for the restart. I'm doing it a little earlier here because I want to get through the whole field here. So it's Jacob Reed out front, Joe Larvin Alonso in second, Tyler Selzman in third, Jordan Newman in fourth, Christian Master in fifth, Lewis Stevens in sixth, Zachary Fitzwater in seventh, Nicholas Amadio in eighth, Jesse Turner in ninth, Justin Roberts in 10th, Max Newworth in 11th, Mason Powers in 12th, Cameron Garlington in 13th, Tristan Allen in 14th, Elijah Gordon in 15th, Trey Bartow in 16th, Kevin Gandar in 17th, and Clint Buchanan in 18th. All 18 cars running right now are on the lead lap, and no lapped cars right now, so that's a good thing. So Jacob Reed, the new leader here, that number 2 won the Indianapolis 500 in the Verizon IndyCar Series earlier this year. That's a day after the Indianapolis 200 here on Napa Fan. And now, the second time around, I know it's kind of an odd spot for this race, you know. We're past Indianapolis and all that. Next season, IndyCar Series will probably start in March. They kind of run with the regular IndyCar Series. And Jacob Reed has a problem in that number 2. He did not get going on that restart. He's stuck in gear 3. So easy pass for the lead for Joe Larvin Alonso. He actually got to the line before he did. I'm not sure if officials are going to review that or what, but Jacob Reed has a very big problem with his transmission right now. That is no doubt. And that could be why he was deep in the field heading into the pit road. He was able to top off that time, but they knew they were going to have these transmission problems, but they kept him out anyway. And he's falling like a rock. And, my goodness gracious, Max Newworth almost crashed with Mason Powers, and Joe Larvin Alonso's in the pits right now. He's got a problem on his car. Not exactly sure why he's in the pits, but I'm pretty sure now the leader is Tyler Selzman in the number 83. He almost won this race back in May. Trying to win it again. Well, actually trying to win it. He almost won this race back in May, but he crashed with James Wickard on the next to last lap of the race. And Max Newworth would go on to win that thing. Here comes Jordan Newman in the 28. Lewis Stevens in the 77. Zachary Fitzwater in the 15. We got Christian Master here as well. Nicholas Amadio's away back. Tristan Allen. These guys, this pack's a long way behind our leaders. And we're going to follow with Alonso here. Make sure he doesn't pull a LePage there. Pull a Kevin LePage on the field. We do not want that to happen. Looks like he's going to be okay. Doesn't look like that pack is going as fast as the lead pack. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of hard to tell. But I know that a lot of these guys were actually involved in the crash. So I'm not sure if they have enough crash damage to slow them down or what. But anyway, Lewis Stevens is leading the Indianapolis 200 right now in that number 77. And we're not even a quarter of a way through this race yet, and we're already like halfway through the field. Speaking of drivers that have gotten knocked out because of crash damage. Here comes Fitzwater in the number 15. My new favorite IndyCar driver, Graham Rahal. Don't ask me why. Tyler Selzman now going underneath of Fitzwater for the lead. Christian Master here on the inside. And I don't understand what Joe Larvin Alonso's problem was in the number 27. But he's now a lap down in that car. And I see this pack trying to go single file so they can catch up to the lead pack. Because in the way it's looking, it doesn't look like we're going to end up with any crashes here. For a while. It's the way it all is. We've never seen a green flag pit stop in the Indianapolis 200. But that might change here today. I mean, Now that we've had those two big crashes, we knocked a lot of guys out. There are a lot fewer drivers on the racetrack. And the fewer drivers there are on the racetrack, the less likely it is that there will be a crash. So Christian Master here in the 67. He's the new leader here in the Indianapolis 200. Jordan Newman right behind him. You got Lewis Stevens and Tyler Selzman here with Zachary Fitzwater in the 15. Newman underneath of Master now for the lead. And they're just going to keep on doing this until, the end, if it does happen to go green the whole way. Nicholas Amadeo is a ways back. These guys are having a hard time getting accelerated like these guys. I don't know what their problem is, but they're slow coming out of the corners compared to our leaders. It could end up being one of these 5 guys that wins this thing because the rest of the guys kind of slowed down. And I think a lot of the reason why they're so far back is because of Jacob Reed. I mean, they're not going as fast as our lead pack here. And they got just about as many cars as the lead pack does. Speaking of Jacob Reed, we're going to see where he is, and he is slow on the racetrack. And I think our leaders will eventually, if this thing does happen to keep on going green, our leaders will eventually catch up to him. Because he doesn't have anybody to draft with. He's not even going 200 miles per hour in that car. These guys are going up to 220. And they just keep on flipping positions between Zachary Fitzwater, Lewis Stevens, Tyler Selzman, Jordan Newman, and Christian Master. So those are the 5 cars in the lead draft, all on the lead lap, and all trying to win the Indianapolis 200. Here comes Tyler Selzman underneath of his Aussie. Well, they're not teammates, but they're both Australian, I know that much. And they're both in this lead pack, and they're both really good drivers. The Australian drivers generally do the best on Napa Fan, which is quite interesting. Because we see Stuart Gratton crash a lot, but Stuart Gratton's a really good driver. He just gets caught up in other people's business all the time. It's kind of unfortunate for him. But Tyler Selzman now takes the lead here in the Indianapolis 200. Christian Masters in second. You got Lewis Stevens on this inside lane. Jordan Newman's here as well. Now, Nicholas Amadeo does not have anyone drafting with him. And the whole problem is the pack behind him, I don't think it's closing up to him. So he's kind of just stuck in his own little world in this number 41. Of course, this is the only race he's racing in this season. I mean, if you look, the lead pack is a long way ahead of him. We got this back here. They're trying to go single file and get to speed, and I think they finally found some. They're going about 220 now. But Mason Powers wants to get out front. He wants to lead this pack instead of a part-time driver. So we'll see. Mason Powers is still yet to win a race on Napa Fan, which is very interesting. I mean, he's one of the longest-running drivers on Napa Fan, and he's yet to get a win. Kind of hard to believe that. Justin Roberts back here. And a lot of these guys have major damage to their cars. Whereas Sergio Larva Alonso, I don't think he had a major problem, but he might have had a loose wheel. But if you do remember the Chick-fil-A Cup Series finale, Jesse Turner, the eventual champion, had a lug nut issue, loose wheel on his car. And even though he did not go a lap down, he was deep in the field from the other championship contender who was left in that race, Warren Henniger. And he was able to catch up, go through the field, and win the championship. So it's possible, even though you could have a problem like that, you can get up back into the race. And I think this second pack might be catching up to the lead pack here. And two, I think the tires are starting to wear off a little bit as well. So you look at the speeds. Where some of them just raced their fastest lap of the race. Zachary Fitzwater with a 41.232. That's his fastest lap of the race. Seen some faster laps. Oh no! Jacob Reed around with Jordan Newman, and I knew something like that could happen. I knew it could, and that's going to bring out our third caution of the race. And I wasn't paying attention when that happened. Nicholas Amadeo hard in the Jacob Reed, and many more drivers involved. Jesse Turner, Elijah Gordon, Nicholas Amadeo destroyed. Cameron Garlington involved as well. And let's say the classic phrase all together. ARCA brakes. Sorry, Nicholas, but you just pulled an ARCA brake right there. I didn't really see what happened to Jacob Reed. I mean, I wasn't really following it, but this is what happened to the number 2. Of course, he's slow, and Jordan Newman tries to pass him on the outside, and he just clips him hard into the wall. Now, I don't think it affected Newman too much, but here comes Nicholas Amadeo. He tries to slow down 140 miles into him, and he got hit multiple times in that number 41. And usually the damage doesn't work that well in this mod, but the damage sure worked there, and that thing is totaled. That poor number 41 is just totaled. And a tough break for guys like Elijah Gordon and Jesse Turner. I mean, they were doing really good. Mason Powers, yeah, he almost got a windshield of his dad. Oh, sorry, no, that's not his dad, it's Jacob Reed. Fail moment right there. They're both Penske cars. Eric Powers, I don't know where Eric Powers is. I think he crashed. I think he did. Elijah Gordon here, he got smacked right into by Nicholas Amadeo. Cameron Garlington smacked right in to Nicholas Amadeo. 41 took a lot of hard hits, and it flipped over a couple times as well. We'll go on board with Nicholas Amadeo here in this number 41. And this is going to be very violent. Oh my goodness. He just, 90-degree angle right into him. And I mean, he got really, really beat up in that crash. Really beat up in that crash. And I mean, if it weren't for the fact that this was just a video game, that would not have been good. We'll just do it again. I mean, look at this. Look at that. That was intense. Go with the right side of Jacob Reed. This one's going to really be powerful. Look at that. I mean, that ends Jacob Reed's day right there. No doubt it ends his day. So, same thing goes for Nicholas Amadeo. That's going to be the end of him. And again, we're knocking out more drivers. We just keep on knocking them out. Lap after lap. Tristan Allen, Justin Roberts, Sergio Larvin Alonso got away with it. Mason Powers, I think he was okay. Jesse Turner, I think he just got spun around a little bit. Max Newer still in this in the number 26. You know he can win this thing. Kevin Gandara, Trey Bartow as well, still in it. Clint Buchanan's out on the racetrack, still on the lead lap. And basically the rest of the guys are out. There's Sergio Larvin Alonso though. Now this is probably the only questionable one that's still out there, still has a good car, because he's a lap down in that number 27. Now if he stays out this time, which it is kind of a risky move, but if he does stay out, that means that he is going to get at least one of his laps back. But he's going to have to start at the tail end of the lead lap, and it does look like he is staying out. He wants to get that lap back. And here we go. The rest of the guys are coming in. And they are led by Zachary Fitzwater in the number 15. Spectator. So Sergio Larvin Alonso is going to stay out, get a lap back. You know, he's still in this thing. He's got a fast car, but you know, the fact that he doesn't have any tires might be a really big factor. And actually, we'll go ahead and follow with Mason Powers because we know that he's, you know, right by the line, and we'll see everything from his angle. By the way, these pit crews are a little slower. The invisible pit crews, for some reason, I can't turn them on. I don't know why. But, you know, they're doing their job, and it looks like Zachary Fitzwater is going to easily win the race off of the pit road into number 15. So it looks like he's going to lead us off to restart number 3. TV1. And it looks like Lewis Stevens is second. Justin Roberts is third. Max Neuwirth. Good to see him up front here, trying to make it 2 in a row in the biggest race in the NRLOA. As of now, at least. He's in 4th. Trey Bartow is in 5th. Tyler Selzman in 6th. Christian Master in 7th. Tristan Allen in 8th. Clint Buchanan in 9th. Kevin Gandara in 10th. Mason Powers in 11th. Jordan Newman in 12th. And the rest of the guys are history. Well, Jesse Turner's not history. Jesse Turner is going to still be out there, repairing some damage there to that car. But then the rest are history. And I'm kind of surprised that so many drivers have gotten eliminated from this race at this point. We did not have that many cars get eliminated at this point last time, and we're only on lap 27. We're not even halfway through this thing. And looks like Sergio Alonso is going to come in here. And actually, the only reason why he didn't come in the first time is because he's a lap down, and lap down cars can't pit with the lead lap cars. Forgot that. Oh well. Let's get to the restart here in the Indianapolis 200. Okay, we are back here for the Indianapolis 200, and we will restart on lap 30 of 80. We're not even halfway through this thing yet. We've already eliminated a lot of cars. Zachary Fitzwater is leading. Sergio Alonso to the inside of him, a lap down. Lewis Stevens is in second. Justin Roberts is third. Max Newworth is fourth. Trey Bartow is fifth. Tyler Salzman is sixth. Christian Master seventh. Tristan Allen eighth. Clint Buchanan ninth. Kevin Gandara 10th. Mason Powers 11th. Jordan Newman 12th. Jesse Turner 13th. That's it. Only 14 cars are on the racetrack. The rest have been sent to the garage for damage. Here we go. Restart here at the Indianapolis 200. And I'm just shocked by how many cars we've eliminated. It's just unbelievable. Here comes Lewis Stevens underneath of Zachary Fitzwater for the lead. And Sergio Alonso is a lap down, but if the caution happened to come out while he was in front of the leaders, he'd get his lap back and he'd be right back in this thing. And it looks like Tyler Salzman coming in with a problem. And it looks like Jordan Newman is in as well. Now this might not just be a problem. Knowing that the caution is probably unlikely, they are probably doing strategy, in my opinion. That's got to be what they're doing here. We'll see what happens here with Jordan Newman. I mean, it's not a problem that's going to send him to the garage, no doubt. It's probably a loose tire or something. They're getting tires on their cars. It's very interesting. And it's almost like a two-car battle for the win now, because Christian Master is a long ways behind Fitzwater and Stevens. The whole thing is, Alonso's in this mix as well, a lap down, and he really wants to get in front of those guys, just in case that caution does happen to come out. It is still very possible. I mean, these cars go really, really fast. Seems like a lot of the guys out there just won't race with a couple of leaders we have. Zachary Fitzwater out front in the 15. Pretty sure Max Newworth is still in this thing. Max Newworth running 6th. When we see Jordan Newman and Tyler Salzman coming back out onto the racetrack now, they're going to be a lap down. So that puts quite a few guys a lap down in this race. 3 guys. That's not really quite a few, but see if anybody else comes in. Doesn't look like anyone else is, so yeah, now we got a 3-car battle for the lead. Lewis Stevens, Zachary Fitzwater, and Christian Master. We'll see if Tristan Allen can get up to these guys. It's possible if he can do that. So, same goes for Justin Roberts in the 8. Max Newworth, though, seems to be a little slower, and the same goes for the rest of the guys. I mean, it's quite interesting, but a lot of the guys right now running in this race just don't have the speed to match up with the three or four guys, you know, racing for the win. Lewis Stevens in the 77. He's out front right now in that car. Christian Master trying to get a draft with him. Fitzwater trying to fall back a little bit so he can get a good run on the drivers ahead of him. And here comes Master underneath of Stevens for the lead in the Indianapolis 200. Very interesting race so far here today. We've had a lot of big crashes. And a lot of guys have gotten knocked out. A ton of guys. And it looks like these 4 cars all racing at about the same speeds. Alonso, the only throttling with him is he's a lap down. Tristan Allen cannot catch up to this pack without help. Same goes for Justin Roberts. Jordan Newman and Max Newworth are racing with each other here. Of course, Newman's a lap down, but they're trying to get a draft off each other, but they're just not going the speeds of these other guys. I mean, look at this. This is Tyler Selzman. Look at the speed differential between him and Trey Bartow. Bartow was involved in the crash earlier. Selzman was not involved in the crash. Has not been involved in the crash yet today. And he's going considerably faster than these guys behind here. So these are some of the guys that have been involved in crashes today that just have enough damage to slow them down that they can't compete for the lead. And Tyler Selzman shows us that. So we could very possibly race this whole thing under green. Very possibly. The whole thing to the end, of course. Lewis Stevens underneath of Hairgel Larvin Alonso. And Lewis Stevens right now leading in this number 77. Christian Masters right behind him. And we got Zachary Fitzwater running third. About the only three drivers I see contending for the win right now. Only unless the strategy for Jordan Newman and Tyler Selzman works out. We will see how that all plays out there. I mean, this would work if they didn't go 3 wide. And Zachary Fitzwater, he needs to be smart enough not to do that. He can't go 3 wide here. It just doesn't work. It really doesn't. Christian Master to the front in the number 67. Here comes the 15 of Fitzwater, trying to get a run underneath of Lewis Stevens and trying to get enough of a run to get past Christian Master. Tristan Allen, Justin Roberts running 4th and 5th right now. Now Tyler Selzman's a lap down, but he's gotten past a ton of guys. He's got a really, really fast car. Fitzwater trying to take it from Christian Master. And by the way, I haven't mentioned this in the race so far, but if you win the Indianapolis 200, you get 120 points towards the championship. And that really means something when it comes time for the championship stretch to go through. Here, Joe Larvin Alonso. He is a lap down, but he's running right with these guys. He's hoping for a caution to come out when he's ahead of the leader so he can get his lap back and get right back in this thing because he definitely has the car to win. No doubt he can do that. He just got to get back on the lead lap, and if he can do that, he's got a really great shot at winning this thing. Lewis Stevens taking the lead. And they're just kind of shuffling. These three guys just flipping the position. And they keep on flipping it. We got this little draft of cars here. Jesse Turner, Mason Powers, and Clint Buchanan. But they're not going anywhere near the speeds of our leaders. See, Jordan Newman and Tyler Selzman running pretty fast speeds here. Matter of fact, they're running about the same speeds as our leaders. Next time around, we are officially halfway through the Indianapolis 200. Took us a while to get here. If I'm not mistaken, the first Indianapolis 200 only took about an hour and 15 minutes to officially complete the whole video. And we're about 45 minutes in, and we're not even halfway. But we are going to be halfway at the end of this lap. So the 100-mile mark in the Indianapolis 200 is going to be taken by somebody. We'll see who it is. It might be kind of close. Might be kind of hard to see who gets it, but it's going to be Zachary Fitzwater. He leads at the halfway point of the Indianapolis 200. Comes Master at the inside of him. We got Lewis Stevens back here in the mix. I mean, they're all just flipping positions, and you just got to be in the right place at the right time. And, you know, if only 3 cars in the lead draft, I mean, well, actually there are 4 cars, but only 3 cars contending for the lead right now. It's kind of easy to be in the right place. I mean, any place can be the right place. You can get the lead at any point, really. But you just got to be careful not to crash or anything, make a mistake. And these guys are doing a good job. Getting a pretty good long green flag run here right now. Christian Master, the leader, in the number 67. Got this draft here with Jesse Turner, Mason Powers, and Clint Buchanan. But they're going nowhere near the speed of our leaders, as I said earlier. Trey Barto's all by himself here, struggling to get 200 miles per hour in that car. Kevin Gandara running 7th. Max Newirth running in 6th, but he's slow. Jordan Newman. He slowed down there. I don't know. He might have a problem on that car. Here's Tyler Selzman. He's running pretty good speeds, but he's a lap down, and what he wants is those leaders to pit and a caution to come out so he can get the lead, technically, and get right back in this thing. I'm not exactly sure why he and Jordan Newman came in the pit there at the beginning of the run. But very interesting thing that happened there, and that's kind of a questionable move for those guys. I mean, could be strategy, but I really don't think that's a good strategy to win this thing. I mean, I think the best strategy is just to stay out front, because now there's hardly anybody out on the racetrack. Now, it could possibly end up that these guys come in and pit, and he can stay out a couple laps at the end. They could have figured that whole strategy out, that these guys, they're going to have another pit stop, no doubt. But it could be that he figured it out where these guys needed to come in, like, right near the end. Selzman can make it to the end, but these guys are just short on fuel the way the strategy's looking. Don't really know. Oh my, that's Lewis Stevens. He's in the wall. And that really slowed his momentum down. He overshot turn 3. I mean, turn 3 is the trouble spot. It's where we've seen 2 of the crashes so far today. But he easily picks the speed back up in that car, and I think it's not going to really have too much of a problem getting back in the draft. Now, right now would be well, actually, he'd have to race back to the line. But if he races back to the line ahead of the leaders, and the caution does happen to come out, and somebody just had a boo-boo. Oh my goodness gracious. Where did that come from? Sorry, guys. Someday I'm going to make, like, a montage of all the stupid things I've said over the year. I would definitely be in it. Kevin Gandara with a problem in that number 17. Very unmanly. I apologize. And here comes Tristan Allen in the pit. So, I think pit stops are about to start for these guys. So you see Allen whip right into the pit road. Could be strategy for that team. Don't know. The Christian Master here in the 67. And then easily Lewis Stevens picked right back up in this draft. I mean, he didn't fall back enough where he could completely lose it. We'll see. There's somebody going to come in here. All 3 of these guys are going to have to come in and pit at the same time, because they cannot afford to lose each other in the draft. And Alonso will definitely come in and pit with them too, because he wants to stay right with the leaders. Even though he's a lap down, he's trying. He's hoping for a caution to come out when he is ahead of the leaders, so he can get a lap back and get right back in this thing. It'd be definitely fun to see him, race for this thing. You see Tyler Selzman here. He's the next car in line from the lead pack, but he's quite a ways behind the leaders. Are these guys going to come in this time? No, I don't understand. This kind of quite interesting strategy there by Tristan Allen. I think no, Justin Roberts just got passed by Tyler Selzman. That's what happened there. And now this could be a problem, because we got these slower cars that are now going to slow our leaders down. They're trying to lap them. And this could be a good opportunity for Hair Joe Larv and Alonso, but it could also be a bad one. They're trying to pass these slow cars ahead of them on the tail end of the lead lap. You gotta do it carefully. And here they come to the pit road. And guess what? Now that these guys actually have cars to draft with, Alonso is now ahead of the leaders. And with all these cars, like around the lap cars and all that, it's possible we could get a crash. It's really good for Alonso. Here comes Christian Master. He is the leader. He did not come in with Fitzwater and Stevens. And those two cars, Mason Powers and Clint Buchanan, are just too slow. I mean, they're going to slow those guys down. And they have slowed them down. Here comes Christian Master in the pits. And Alonso's going to stay out on the racetrack. And I think he can stay out one lap longer than the leaders because he came in one lap after the leaders. Of course, that was under caution, so it's not going to take up as much fuel, of course. And the lead right now is... I don't think it's Christian Master. He's going to lose the lead, probably. But as far as I know, the leader probably might... It might be Justin Well, looks like Roberts has already taken his... Yeah, Roberts already took his pit stop. So here, he's going to come and pass Master and get his lap back. Master's on lap 49. Tristan Allen's already made his stop. Alonso's running fourth right now, and he's actually on the lead lap as it runs, but he's going to have to make his pit stop, and that's going to slow him down. Clint Buchanan and Mason Powers, they're on the lead lap, and they're staying out. So these guys might be out front for a little bit. Leader, at the time, was Master, but he's not the leader now. The leader right now is Clint Buchanan. Even though these guys are slower than the guys who were leading before the pit stops happened, they might be able to stay out a little longer because they're not going as fast and not burning up as much fuel. That's a possibility for Mason Powers and Clint Buchanan. We'll see if they come in. It looks like Mason Powers is coming in, but Buchanan is staying out. Or sorry, no, he's coming in. And Max Neuer, he's already made his stop. Clint Buchanan, those guys are not going to lead a lap. And Tyler Selzman is now in the mix with these guys. So now, as Selzman is in it, I think he still has to make his stop. But Master really put it on good. But there's no way he's going to be able to stay out there with these. This line of three cars is definitely going to catch up to Master, no doubt, before this thing is over. Unless, got Selzman, he's going to have to come in, I think, in the next couple of laps. But, he came in later than anyone else. He actually came in on this green flag run. He is not coming in this time. If he does, that's a really stupid move. Here's Larvin Alonso on the tail end of the lead lap right now, but barely holding it from Christian Master. As you see Clint Buchanan and those guys going back a lap down, and they were a lap down. Once these pit stops started, they almost led a lap, but they couldn't quite do it. So I know Master and Alonso, they're going to draft with each other. And Master just kind of wants to draft with Alonso, kind of get away from the rest of these guys behind him. That's what he wants. He wants to help Alonso so it can help him. He's actually going to pass him here. That's going to slow their momentum down, but they're trying to pass back here. And Tyler Selzman's right back in this thing. That's a good thing to see. We'll see if these guys can catch up to Master, and they are closing in. No doubt they are closing in here. The Christian Master, our leader in the number 67. And here's the winner from last time, Max Neuer, on the tail end of the lead lap. And he is going to be a roadblock for these guys. Sort of. They might get by him pretty smoothly here. Master's a former winner of this race. He should know what he's doing. And as that's going on, Alonso passing Master. Trying to get back on the lead lap. And hoping that something happens between the leaders and Neuwirth, but nothing is going to happen. And Selzman's able to stay out here. Doing a good job. Now, what happened to Jordan Newman? He's coming in the pit, and I do know that Jordan Newman was right with Tyler Selzman, so that means that Selzman's going to have to come in here soon. Zachary Fitzwater, the new leader. He took it from Christian Master here. Alonso's still out front in the number, it's still out front of this pack, even though he's still a lap down. He really wants to get back on that lead lap because he knows he can contend for it. Here comes Tyler Selzman into the pits. So that could be really good for Selzman and, not so much for Jordan Newman. He's kind of far back. But it could be good for Selzman because Selzman's running right with those leaders now. And it could possibly be at the end of this thing. He could be right up with them on a fuel run, and this thing could end on the fuel run. We'll definitely have another set of pit stops. I mean, no doubt that's going to happen. We're on lap 55 of 80 right now. Alonso, he's really, really doing a good job staying ahead of these leaders. He's trying. He's just hoping for that caution, and we've gone green for a very long time. Matter of fact, the longest green flag run in Indianapolis 200 history, about 30 or so laps. I really haven't officially counted it, but of course you guys can tell. You guys probably remember what lap it was. I don't, when we restarted. But the same four guys in the same group again after the pit stop, so it worked all well for these guys. Max Neuwer's a lap down. Next driver in line. Wow, that's Tristan Allen in the number 7. He's running 4th place right now in that car. And look at how far he is behind our leaders. We could come close to there only being 3 cars on the lead lap. Last time this race was run, 9 cars finished on the lead lap, but now, let's put it this way, right now, we only have 5 cars on the lead lap. But here, Joe Alonso are kind of fluctuating between being on the lead lap and not being on the lead lap. Alonso is running 6th right now, and him being with these leaders is greatly helping him, even though he's a lap down. You know, he has the car, he has the speed. He just had a little problem with some loose wheels, and that's kind of set him back a lap. But if he didn't get set back a lap that time, he'd either be crashed or he'd be racing with these guys for position. There is Salzman. Now he's back to a lap. He's actually a lap down now in that car. Neuwirth is actually ahead of him. And I don't think Salzman got a good lap at all. Now, it's possible that even though he is a lap down, and he's on the other stretch that the leaders are on. I mean, these leaders are just really putting it on. They're just like, yeah, I don't care about anybody else. Let's just care about ourselves, you know. They just lap everybody, you know. It's almost like these 4 guys, even though this guy's a lap down, you know. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater underneath of Lewis Stevens for the lead. And this is another one of those moments where Alonso hopes for a caution. Because, you know, he's running 6th right now. He gets back on that lead lap in 6th place, he's going to be right with the leaders. Because he's got the car, no doubt. We know that he has the car. Not many people have the car right now. At all. For some people. But Alonso is definitely a very fast car. He just had that loose wheel problem, and that put him back. And running 6th right now, number 27. But on the tail end of the lead lap right now, and about to get lapped once again. Here comes Fitzwater underneath of him. He's going to lead the rest of the leaders right underneath of that 27. And you never know when we can end up with a crash. It's possible we can have a late restart going here. And that would definitely be exciting. Christian Master in the 27 going underneath Alonso. He's got Lewis Stevens behind him. And Master now going for the lead underneath of Fitzwater. And we are in the final quarter of the Indianapolis 200. An extremely long green flag run here. The later goings of this race. Tyler Salzman just passed Max Neuwirth. Salzman has the car as well, just to let you know. He just had that problem like Alonso did, and that set him back. I mean, either way, Alonso's going to get a lot of points with this finish, even though he's a lap down. And how about the 2 guys? Even though they're pretty much in no contention for the win, they're on the lead lap, Tristan Allen and Justin Roberts. They are both making their one and only start this season, and they're both in the top 5. How about that? good to see those guys get pretty good finishes there. Of course, you never know when these leaders can come right up on them and pass them, and goodbye to being on the lead lap. Fitzwater taking the lead. And it's just generally been a race between Lewis Stevens, Christian Master, and Zachary Fitzwater this whole time. My Bandicam clock has already put us on 1 hour. Doing this for a whole freaking hour. Well, we're coming up to the closings of this race. You never know when one of these guys here can make a mistake. I mean, one of these guys can definitely go 3 wide and they can go all shoot up into the wall. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it is when we get to the end of the race too, because I'm not entirely sure how all the pit stops are going to be set. And those pit stops, it could be a case where you see Tyler Selsman, get a good run there at the end. He's a lap down in that car. But it's possible. I mean, the same can go for Alonso, but Alonso's on the same fuel strategy as the rest of the guys he's racing with, so it's kind of hard to offset his strategy when you're really tight. I mean, it's really hard to change your strategy when you're on a set strategy. It just doesn't work. You got to choose your strategy early in the race, and I'm not exactly sure if Selsman even had a problem. That just could have been strategy from his crew chief saying, hey, these guys are going to have to come in at this time. But if we come in now, we will be good to go on 2 more stops. The rest are going to have to do 3 more. That might be it. Actually, sorry. 1 more stop, actually, would be the correct way to say it, because that's probably all these guys are going to have to do. And as they are passing Mason Powers, who is majorly slowing down this field and breaking it up, Zachary Fitzwater pulls out to a pretty good lead. Of course, these guys are going to get right back with each other and going to get that line going, and they're going to come right back up on Fitzwater, so thing's not over. Thing ain't over till it's over. That's why we race. Just think of those championship races we had a couple weeks ago, We thought that these guys had it in the bag, but stuff happened, and they didn't do it. We race for a reason. Here comes Clint Buchanan. They're going to close up on him now. Alonso really wants to get past these guys. I mean, especially every time they go around a lap car. You saw the Jacob Reed incident. That was our last caution. It's going to hold up Lewis Stevens. Actually, it's also going to hold up Alonso. Alonso can't get underneath of Buchanan. And I know Alonso does not want to be the caution. I mean, he's not going to get back on a lead lap if he crashes, no doubt. Fitzwater pulls out to a big lead again. See, is anybody coming in the pit? Tristan Allen started that cycle of pit stops the last time. So we'll kind of monitor with him to see how it's all going. But Zachary Fitzwater, one of the more dominating cars of the race. He's definitely done a fantastic job in this number 15, and he actually has only 13 laps to go. I mean, this race is coming to a close. Christian Master trying to close up. They're all going to close up again, I know that much. The fearsome foursome, let's just say that for now. The leaders. Even though Alonso's a lap down, not a leader, he's racing like he's a leader. Man, these guys are on the verge of putting Jesse Turner and Trey Bartow 2 laps down. Yeah, they're a lap down right now. And these guys are going to close up to him before this thing's over, and they're going to put him 2 laps down. Oh, man, came close there. Master, now the new leader. Now Alonso trying to get back on the lead lap, and I see that he's in 5th place. And there is Tristan Allen on the pit road, And the cycle of pit stops have started again. But now they're right with lap traffic, and they're trying to get by him. The whole problem is, like, if they can get by him, can they get by him without crashing? It's possible they could crash when that's all happening. Lewis Stevens, new leader. Fitzwater coming really close to Trey Bartow. I mean, the margins of error are very slim right now, and if they make a mistake, it's not going to be good. And you know what? I think this, I don't know. They just seem they might be close enough to get a draft. They might be. Anybody else in the pit road? Nobody else is in the pit road right now. See Tristan Allen there. He is now a lap down. Oh my, they're bumping off each other there. And Justin Roberts now in. He's on a similar strategy with Tristan Allen. Lewis Stevens, the leader in the number 77. Now this is where Tyler Selden's whole situation's going to come in play. He's right now running 6th. He can stay out a little longer than the leaders. And the leaders can stay out a little longer than Tristan Allen and Justin Roberts. So what will they do? Stevens can't get by Alonso. And they're kind of still split up, but they're going to close up here. Fitzwater's going to close up to Stevens here. And it's going to be that four-car pack again. And here we go. Here we go. Fitzwater in the pit road. But nobody comes with him. Lewis Stevens came in with him last time. Christian Master and Alonso came in together. Lewis Stevens and Zachary Fitzwater came in together last time. And Stevens just pumped the brakes. He's letting Alonso go. Oh, there might be a problem on that car. He's slowing. He's slowing. So Alonso's running 4th. He's kind of sort of back on the lead lap. Christian Master passing Lewis Stevens for the lead, but he's coming into the pit road, and Stevens is going to stay out. No, he is not going to stay out. Coming into the pit road, Lewis Stevens with Christian Master. He needs somebody to be with, and we'll see. Where's Zachary Fitzwater now on the racetrack? There he is. We'll follow with Tyler Selzman, and we'll see where he files in with Selzman. He's going to get out pretty far ahead of Selzman, actually. And I don't think Selzman's going to have a chance here because he's nowhere near Zachary Fitzwater. Nowhere near him at all. So this now just became a race between Fitzwater, Master, and Stevens. The talk of Selzman possibly doing it are out now. He's too far back. We'll see. We'll just follow with Fitzwater and see where the other leaders come out. With now only, I think, 8 laps to go here in this race. I mean, it's crunch time. Oh, and there it goes, the leaders. Lewis Stevens and Christian Master are out front by a good amount ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. But Fitzwater's still here in this number 15. He's going to close up right up on him. The question is, where is Alonso? Here is Alonso in the number 27. Now, if you remember, Lewis Stevens kind of pumped the brakes a little bit and kind of let Alonso go. And he was ahead by those leaders when they came in by a good amount. So he might get in front of the leaders. And you never know when that caution could come out. Justin Roberts, a lap down. And here's Alonso coming out. And he's going to at least be right back with the leaders. If not, like if the caution came out now, he'd be really good. Or would he? I don't know. He might not be because these guys are coming fast, but he's going to mix right with them again. Christian Master, now the leader in the Indianapolis 200 with 6 laps to go. And then here's the whole thing. If the caution came out here, you know, we might not get back to racing. But it would be something if the caution did come back out. I know that much. So Alonso right back with these guys. And remember Tyler Selzman, he's right now running in 4th place, but he's a good ways behind our leaders. So Trying to get some points, but it doesn't look like he's going to do much here today. Zachary Fitzwater now the leader, with only now 5 laps to go when we cross the line. So, the whole thing is, if we have a caution, will we have enough time to race back? Because, like, say, if we had a caution on lap 77, I highly doubt it that we would. No, I don't want to stop. Okay, I don't know what that was. Sorry. Touchscreen computer, you never know what you're going to get. Okay, Zachary Fitzwater still out front. Oh, sorry, no. Wait, yeah. And here they come up on Max Newworth, and this is a chance for a caution for Alonso. If they try to go 3 wide around him, that's when it could be a problem. But they're not going to go 3 wide around him. Christian Master is going to take the lead in the 67. And that's good for Master. Newworth slowing down, 2nd and 3rd place, Lewis Stevens and Zachary Fitzwater. And it's pretty much a lost cause now to get back on the lead lap for Alonso. What he would have to do is have all those leaders crash, and for Tyler Selzman to pit. But I seriously doubt that's going to happen. Would it be something if all 4 of these guys crash? I mean, that would give Selzman the win, actually. Selzman really far back, and he's actually going to have to pit here at the end of this one. Where are the leaders? There they are. This group of 4 has stayed together this whole race, but we still don't know who's going to win it. We know for sure it's probably going to either be Master, Stevens, or Fitzwater. I don't really think, only unless something very weird happened, it's going to be one of those 3 guys. But who is it going to be? That's the big question. And you know what? We're going to find an answer very shortly. Lewis Stevens is going to take the 2 to go mark here in the Indianapolis 200. It's only 2 more laps. And going 3 wide. That's Alonso going 3 wide. Will they be able to keep it going like that? Oh boy. They're still 3 wide. Fitzwater takes the lead, and I think they're going to fan it back down to 2. Only unless Master here goes 3 wide underneath Alonso. He might do it. He might do it. They're coming close to doing it, but they're smart drivers. They're not going to do that. And here we go. Coming in at turn number 4. It's come down to this. Been a long race. But finally, the white flag in the Indianapolis 200. Fitzwater leads it with 1 lap to go. Master on the inside of him. Here comes Stevens in the 77. They all know this is the last lap. What will they do to win this thing? Well, Fitzwater has to get to that inside if he wants to win. He can't get to the inside. Master stays out front in the 67. Christian Master in the 67. Stevens cannot get by him. 80 laps. And it comes down to this. Christian Master in the number 67 will win the Indianapolis 200. That's a big one for that team. And 120 points towards the championship for Christian Master in the number 67, your Indianapolis 200 champion. How about that? It was a race between 3 guys most of the day. Christian Master, Lewis Stevens, and Zachary Fitzwater. And Christian Master got out front, kind of with help from Joe Larvin Alonso, to be the leader at the perfect time. And Christian Master has won in the Haas IndyCar Series in Indianapolis, the Indianapolis 200. What a race. And we closed that race out with a huge long green flag run. And only 4 guys finished on the lead lap. Tristan Allen finished 38 seconds behind the leader, so he's got a lot of points in the bag from that. Even though he's not actually he's not a full-time driver, so it doesn't really mean anything for him. But Lewis Stevens is going to get, I think, 100 points towards the championship. Zachary Fitzwater gets, I don't know how many he gets. I don't know how I said it. But, I'll get it all fixed, and you guys will see the points right after the video, of course. And look at how many guys have, accident, tire, or piston, or retired. A lot of drivers crashed in the early goings of this race. But we knocked out so many guys in about the first 30 laps that we raced the last 50 laps under green, which is the longest green flag run in history on Napa Fan, which is quite interesting there. But the race for pretty much the whole second half of the race was between Christian Master, Lewis Stevens, and Zachary Fitzwater. And it's kind of like random.org. You really don't know who it was gonna be. And if you really think about it, it was completely random, and it really was, if you really think about it. But Christian Master, he got to the line first, and he is the Indianapolis 200 winner for officially 2015. We will not have this race again until 2016, during the right time of the year for that time. We won't have it back here in July for season number 2 of the IndyCar Series. The IndyCar Series will return in March of next year. Once this season is over, and it will kind of coincide with the real IndyCar season. Of course, not the schedule, but the races will kind of run in the same weekend as IndyCar's racing, if you know what I mean when I say that. And so this race will actually be at the right time, and I kind of do apologize for this happening again. Shouldn't really happen again, but Christian Master doesn't care. I mean, he just won the Indianapolis 200. And that's a really big thing. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. This took a lot of me to do this, a really long race. But Christian Master would come out on top and win the biggest race of the season in the Haas IndyCar Series. So thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Christian Master. And here are the points for the Haas IndyCar Series. I will see you guys later.